What a great privilege it is to honor our moms on a day like today. Amen? I appreciate moms. You know where you'd be without a mom? Well, yeah, you really wouldn't be without a mom. Not all moms are perfect. I don't care what they tell you. Not all moms are perfect. I was watching a video with my son. My son graduated from college yesterday, and he was saying on this video right the week before he left, he said that he has a kind of a deal worked out with his kids. They were playing Monopoly and buying property and selling, and his daughter had gotten all 3 green properties. Those are pretty valuable properties, and so she wanted to put a house on her properties, and she said, "Dad, I'd like to buy a house." Of course, my son always serves as a banker. I don't know. I don't know if he likes control or what. But he said, "I wanted to buy a house," and so he said, "Okay, that'll be $200, Lila." And she said, "No, Dad, they're not that much." He said, "Yes, Lila, they are $200. I said, "Well, Dad, my card says $130. And he said, "No, Lila, that's the rent on the property, $130. He said, "No, my card says that it's $130. He said, well, you read your card and then you tell me." So she read, see, right here, $130, and then she got to read a little bit more, and she finally bowed her head and kind of clamped up a little bit. And he said, "Okay, say it. Come on, Lila, say it." "Do I have to, Dad?" "Yes, you have to." "You're the smartest man I know." He said that he does that with both of his kids, just trying to prepare for teenage years. I don't know that it's working out like he wanted it to, but you might try that as a parenting tip this morning. You might think about that. They're on the news this week was a very interesting speech by the most valuable player for the NBA, Kevin Durant. And I wanted to play a part of that speech for you this morning. And I want you to note, now he thanks a lot of people, but he begins and ends with one person. And right before he ends, he saves his the highest praise for another person. Let's take a look at that.
He is the first ever player from our franchise to win this prestigious accolade. He is now in the company of all-time greats, including Hall of Famers we call simply Russell, Wilt, the Big O, Larry, Magic, and Michael, just to name a few. And now we add KD. Please welcome the 2013-14 Kia NBA Most Valuable Player, Kevin Durant.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. I'm usually good at talking, but I'm a little nervous today. First off, I'd like to thank God for changing my life and let me really realize what life is all about. Basketball is just a platform in order for me to inspire people, and I realized that. Without all of you guys, this is our trophy too. I appreciate it. Thank you. All the support from all my friends, all my family over the years, I appreciate it. My grandma who couldn't be here, I know she's watching. She's gonna text me as soon as I get off the stage. Thank you so much for picking me up from school when I was a kid, fixing me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, texting me after every game, telling me I need to stop getting texts, and loving me unconditionally. And last, my mom. I don't think you know what you did. You had my brother when you were 18 years old. 3 years later, I came out. We were stacked, the odds were stacked against us. Single parent with 2 boys by the time you were 21 years old. Everybody told us we weren't supposed to be here. We moved from apartment to apartment by ourselves. One of the best memories I had is when we moved into our first apartment. No bed, no furniture, and we just all sat in the living room and just hugged each other. Because that's what we thought we made it. And when something good happens to you, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to look back to what brought me here. And you wake me up in the middle of the night in the summer times, making me run up a hill, making me do push-ups, screaming at me from the sideline of my games at 8 or 9 years old. We wasn't supposed to be here. You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put clothes on our backs, food on the table. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You went to sleep hungry. You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP. Last, just like to thank God again. He's the first and the last, Alpha and Omega. I thank you for saving my life. I appreciate everybody. Thank you for all the writers for voting for me. Dan.
So, well, that was pretty high praise, wasn't it? And I would say it's pretty well-deserved praise, wasn't it? For God, of course, and the relationship with God that he said changed his life, that he says saved him. You know, a relationship with God like that will change your life, right? It will save you. And then also for his mom. We recognize that godly mothers make a difference in people's lives. Do you think Kevin's mom was perfect? No, she admitted, if you read other interviews, she wasn't a perfect mom by any means, but she was a very consistent, loving mom. And I want to talk to you today about the kind of mother's love that it takes to be able to help a child really be able to succeed in life. And this is a book in the Bible that if you're not careful, you can lose. It's only one of 2 books in the Bible that are named after a woman. It's the book of Ruth, the book of Ruth. And the reason I was telling you my most embarrassing moment is the first time I preached on this passage many years ago. My mom was still alive. And my mom came up to our town in Hillsboro and was there for Mother's Day that Sunday morning. And I told everyone at the early service I preached out of Ruth. Everything went fine. My mom came to the second service, and she sat right there, about the second row back, right where I could see her, and become nervous. And so I told everybody, now open up your Bibles to the book of Ruth. And I opened up my Bible. Someone had taken Ruth out of my Bible. I in my nervousness, I could not find the book of Ruth. Now, it's only 4 short chapters, and it's kind of hidden right after Joshua, Judges, Ruth. But I couldn't think, I couldn't imagine, I couldn't find it. And I'm fumbling around up there trying to cover the time, while I'm looking. But I think everybody's beginning to catch on that I can't find Ruth. Now, I've had a lot of years of study. I mean, at that time I didn't have the doctorate, but at that time I had my master's. I have studied the Bible. I have read the Bible through I don't know how many times. But that morning, Ruth was missing in my Bible. And I finally just had to stop and admit, I can't find the book. What you already know. I can't find the book of Ruth. And I said, well, I'm going to look in my table of contents. And about the time I turned to the book of Ruth, one young man walked up with his Bible open like this, saying, here, Pastor, here's the book of Ruth. Can you imagine how embarrassing that would be for a preacher? Especially with his mom there. I'm not so sure she was a proud mom that day. But things went okay after that. The University of Michigan conducted a nationwide survey several years ago. They asked thousands of girls between the ages of 11 and 18 what they would like to be in adult life. A surprising 80% expressed a desire to be just like their moms. 80%. Moms, you make a tremendous difference in your family. Without you, the family suffers in some way. I think it's pretty neat when you think about what a mom is. Emma Bombeck, have you ever heard of her? Emma Bombeck? Some of us knew her sister, Ann Landers, but she wrote in a column in a newspaper that was syndicated around the country. She said that on the day that God created mothers, he had already been working long overtime. The angel said to him, Lord, you're spending a lot of time on this one. The Lord turned and said, well, have you read the specs on this model? She's supposed to be completely washable, but not plastic. She's to have 180 moving parts, all of them replaceable. She's to have a kiss that will heal everything from a broken leg to a broken heart. She's to have a lap that will disappear when she stands up. She's able to function on black coffee and leftovers. And she's supposed to have 6 pairs of hands. 6 pairs of hands, said the angel? That's impossible. It's not the 6 pairs of hands that bothered me, said the Lord. It's the 3 pairs of eyes. She's supposed to have 1 pair that sees through closed doors, so that whenever she says, what are you the kids doing in there, she already knows what they're doing in there. She has another pair in the back of her head to see all the things she's not supposed to see but must see. And then she has 1 pair right in front that can look a child in the eye who had just goofed and communicate and understand without saying a word. That's too much, said the angel. You can't put all that in 1 model. Why don't you rest for a while and resume your creating tomorrow? No, I can't, said the Lord. I'm close to creating someone very much like myself. I've already come up with a model that can heal herself when she's sick. She can feed a family of 6 with 1 pound of hamburger and can persuade a 9-year-old to take a shower. The angel looked at the model of motherhood a little bit more closely and said, she's too soft. But she is tough, said the Lord. You'd be surprised how much this mother can do. Can she think, said the angel? Not only can she think, said the Lord, but she can reason and compromise and persuade. Then the angel reached over and touched her cheek. This one has a leak, he said. I told much in one model. That's not a leak, said the Lord. That's a tear. What's a tear for? Asked the angel. Well, it's for joy, for sadness, for sorrow, for disappointment, for pride. You're a genius, said the angel. And the Lord said, oh, but I didn't put that there.